Bucs, go Bucs. Go Bucs, go Bucs. Go Bucs, go Bucs. First and goal, we gotta tough it out. Get in the end zone and call a hot route. O-line to beat, Mike down the street and have Humphreys run right underneath. You know it's Bucs ball, we got the hardest D. Bring the pressure to the QB, you know it's routine. We got hard greens. Welcome to Tampa, welcome to Tampa. Go Bucs, go Bucs. Reppin' for my team. Go Bucs, go Bucs. You know we want the ring. Go Bucs, go Bucs. Welcome to the day. Go Bucs, go Bucs. Tune in with Buccaneer Blade. Bucs back, we can run and toss like Evans, looking like Randy Moss. And Jameis make the play after play. On the defense, you can't stop Levante. On my boy McCoy, who you can't avoid. At the Raymond James, you about to feel the pain. If you a Bucs fan, make a lot of noise. If you a Bucs fan, make a lot of noise. Go Bucs.
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Bucs Report Live, right here in Dunedin, Florida, Tampa area. And you're watching currently Buck and Blake Sports with your host, Mr. Blake Anthony himself. I can't go without saying all the other great shows here on Bucs Report. I'm going to try to get them all without looking. Pewtercast, Buck What You Heard, Buck Ball, Red Flag Podcast, and Pewtercast. Anyway, I know I usually like to do these after a game on Sunday, but it's different today because we had a game on Thursday, a very short week after a disappointing loss to the San Francisco 49ers, and the 49ers have had a dominating win against Cincinnati on Sunday. Surprised me. But the Bucs play the Panthers on Thursday, get a good win against the Panthers. I'm pretty much here for you guys for questions and stuff you want to talk about. I got a question from somebody out of Indiana. That's not Misador. That he wants to talk about the Glaziers and stuff like that. So I'm going to go over that. I got a clip that Arians talk pretty much recaps the whole Panthers game. I know I gave that already, and I gave a lot of tape and content and stuff. I'm just basically setting up for Thursday about the same time, 3 o'clock, 3:30, for you guys to watch. And look at how I'm going to break down the Giants tape and what we got to do to stop what and who's a threat and what's going to go on. I know everybody's going to say Saquon Barkley, but it's going to be more to that. I don't think the Giants aren't going to come ready, prepared for us to stop Saquon Barkley, or at least attempt to limit him. And they won't be coming off a short week. So I got a clip for Arians because I'm not really going to go deep into the Panthers game and all that. I'm going to say quick things unless you guys got stuff in the comments. Then I'll talk about that. I'm going to talk about what this fan brought up about ownership of the Glaziers. And, yeah, that's what we're going to go over today. And we'll briefly talk about the Giants. Like I said, I'm going to go into all that on Thursday. I just wanted to continuously come out on Mondays at between 3 to 4 p.m. on Mondays after a Sunday game and constantly get with you guys because I know I don't usually have a set time, but I'm going to start doing that now. It's going to be usually Mondays around 3 p.m. unless something sparingly happens, and I'll update you guys. But, yeah, let me play the clip for you guys. Here you go.
Obviously, watching the film, I was very, very pleased with how hard we played. You always this old saying that whoever plays harder the longest will win games. I think that was true in that one. Was it perfect? Not by no means, but we made enough plays to win the ball game. Game balls. Chris Godwin got one. Obviously, you see all stats, but he blocked as good as any wide receiver I've ever seen in a game, blocking linebackers, defensive ends, safeties. He was a huge part of our running game. Peyton Barber, who I thought ran extremely well. He had the hot hand. We stuck with him. And Rojo stung his toe on that really good run he had. But it was Peyton's night. Vernon for game-saving tackle after I screwed up the double timeouts. Kevin Minter got 2 of them for stepping in and playing really, really well at middle linebacker and running the defense, and one on special teams. And, again, really, really proud of our guys.
Coach, what do you know about Devin White at this point?
So far, it looks like a grade 1 medial MCL, so it'll be day-to-day as strong as he is. I don't know how much time he'll miss, but
probably a little bit of game 2.
Probably, knowing him, it could possibly be back, but he's walking without a brace right now, so keep our fingers crossed.
As you look back
the second of the 3 4th-and-1s, the play before you guys had gone to almost a goal line look at midfield. Just want to ask you about that. It worked well, and they ran kind of right into the heart of it. Just what that call was like. It's a lot of subbing in the middle of the play there.
Yeah, they went to a jumbo package, brought in an extra offensive lineman. Todd had a really good plan for that. Got everybody lined up, and guys executed the defense extremely well.
What do you attribute? You know, Todd Bowles has a great reputation, obviously. You've known him forever as a defensive coordinator and was a head coach. But for him to bring this group together so quickly and get to know his guys and to have the results, you know, 2 touchdowns in 2 games seems unbelievable.
Yeah, I watched him do it in Arizona, and you know, and we knew we had talent. We knew we had speed here, and he's just an amazing teacher. I mean, and when if you ever had the privilege of being on the headset, he's calling out the plays before they're run, and telling guys they're coming, and sometimes we still don't stop them, but he's telling them what's happening. He's very, very, very sharp.
Vernon Hargrave said that he's given enough freedom at times to decide whether to play up, to play press, or to back off. How does that work? What kind of trust do you have to have to?
You have to have a lot. You know, I think mixing it up, playing man off, is really hard. But if you're talented enough, it's a good mix-up for you. And you know, we press, then we press bail and play zone. So he's really Vernon's such a smart, heady player. It's really good for him.
Coach, Anthony Nelson was a player that missed all of the preseason. He comes into the regular season, plays in his first couple of games on Sunday and Thursday. He forces a fumble. He has a pass break up the line of scrimmage. How big was that for him coming into the league, and how big was that for the team?
It was huge. 2 big plays, and you know, it was a shame he got that MCL in practice on the last play of practice. But he's got a bright future.
Coach, the offensive line has improved a lot since last season in run blocking, specifically in zone blocking schemes. What can you attribute that to, and what have you seen from them so far this season?
Well, I think Harold and Joe do a great job with those guys, and they're harping always on technique. We don't have to ask for effort. You know, we can finish better, and once we start finishing better, I think we're going to get better runs. But yeah, just solid coaching and knowing that we are a run-first team.
A big question coming into the season was, you know, who was going to replace JPP with the pass rush? You know, did you think that Shaq Barrett could have this kind of impact in this system as quickly as he has?
Yeah, I mean, we were hoping when we evaluated him, you know, whenever he was in, he flashed. He's a slippery pass rusher, but he's also got power. So yeah, I think you know, we were hoping that he would give us that, and he's delivered.
What's been the key?
And he got a game ball. I forgot to mention that, obviously. But
What's been the key to the run stopping? I mean, it doesn't seem. I mean, obviously, when you shut down a guy like McCaffrey, who's run on everybody, but you also played the run well in the preseason. You've done it. Does it start with Sue and Bea, or is it?
it starts in the middle with really the front 4,
Yeah.
and attacking, penetrating, and then freeing up those linebackers. But it's really hustle. It's just everybody getting to the ball. And I thought we played extremely hard on defense last night.
O.J. Howard, the first game had the 2 turnovers he was involved in, had an OPI on, I think, the only target he had last night. Is there a reason why things just haven't clicked for him yet?
Probably have to ask him, you know. But he's got so much talent, and he can play a heck of a lot better than he's playing.
O.J. Howard played quite a bit last night. Didn't have any targets. Was that his product of his ankle, or?
No, that's just the way the game goes.
Bruce, along the same lines, I think Perriman has 9 targets in 2 games and 10 yards. Is that just a new connection, still working to?
Yeah, I thought he was gonna. It was a great throw into the end zone. I thought he'd make that catch. It just slipped on a couple of routes, but yeah, we're gonna keep targeting him because, you know, he was wide open and we underthrew him. So it is some new chemistry, but it was funny because in spring it just clicked automatically. Jameis never missed him deep, and in real bullets it's different.
Coach, back-to-back weeks, even with a short week, on Sunday you hold Kittle to less than 60 yards receiving. Yesterday you hold McCaffrey to less than 60 yards from scrimmage. What's that say about the guys, the back 7 of the defense, or however number it is back there, to be able to accept that system so quickly?
I think, yeah, again, Todd does such a great job of targeting what we have to stop and how we're going to stop it, and the guys buy in, and if that's your assignment, that's your assignment. Let's go. And Christian is such an unbelievable back catching and rushing. I doubt he'll be held to that again, but that was a hell of a job by our guys.
You still expect great things from Devin, obviously, but to have a guy like Kevin Minter, who you've had before, man, did he come in and play?
Oh yeah, he's an ultimate pro, playing special teams, and even after he played every single snap on defense, I'm not coming off special teams. I'm staying out here. Daniel Buchanan's the same guy. He did it for Levante when Levante was down. So that inside linebacker depth, Jack came in and made a nice play in that goal line stuff. I mean, it's a good room, really good room.
Coach, you never want to take the penalty, but ultimately worked out in the end. Is there something that you or Coach Bowles saw specifically from the offense and the way they were lining up on that goal line play that led to the second timeout?
We have what we call Kodak, and it's 4th down. Let them come out, show you what you're doing. You call timeout. Todd had not known I already called timeout. I got caught up in the heat of it. We got dumb-ass luck is what it was, that it put them in a short yardage and they changed the play. Not that we wouldn't have stopped their other play, but we're really lucky it wasn't a first down.
Would Vernon, would he normally go man-to-man in motion with the receiver, or did he know just I'm setting the edge?
No, we set a zone scheme up because of all the gimmicks down there, and it was really assignment football. Who had the quarterback? We were ready for the option.
Bruce, there were a lot of odd things in terms of officiating calls and replays last night. But there was one play where the ball seemed to move almost a yard from where it was initially spotted to where it went there. I didn't know if you took notice of that and whether that was something you looked at challenging or what.
You're not going to win. I learned what we can possibly win and what we have no shot at winning, and spotting the ball is one of them. I thought he was 2 yards short on the first one, and it ended up being like 6 inches after they moved the ball around. So you never know. It gets very, very frustrating.
We always talk about a game of inches. The throw to Perryman looks really good. The throw to Mike Evans looks really good. Jameis could have had a huge day, right?
Yes, indeed. Those are 2 great balls. Those guys got to come up with they're talented enough to come up with those balls.
Yeah.
Coach, from a coaching standpoint, you have to have, at least personally, a lot of confidence in your football team now that you're able to bounce back the way you did after Sunday's game.
Oh, there's no doubt. The staff did a great job of getting the guys ready in that short week. We went inside, we stayed in the air conditioning. I thought we were a little bit fresher than we have normally be on a Thursday night for that reason. I thought they handled the lightning delay and all the things, those long-ass replays, extremely well.
Was the plan to attack Cam? Obviously you had to be aware of McCaffrey, and you always want to get after the quarterback, but in that he has not shown a willingness really to run the football as much. Some questions about maybe his arm strength or accuracy.
Yeah, we had him accounted for because he was the second leading rusher, but in his age now, I don't think you will see him run that much anymore. He's taken a lot of hits, and they dropped a couple balls on him that were big too. Obviously, watching the film.
Yeah, all right, guys. Like I said, I wasn't going to go deep into the game. I think Bruce Arians made enough cover, answered all the questions that everybody had. Speaking about O.J. Howard, drop passes, schemes that they were going on at the end of the game, et cetera, et cetera. I'm not going to go into that. You guys are bringing a lot of great content. Again, what you're watching is Buck and Blake Sports live on Bucs Report. Again, I thought I missed some of the show, other podcast shows. I want to make sure I got them all. It's Cannon Fire Podcast, Buck Ball Podcast, Real Buck Talk, the Red Flag Podcast, and Buck What You Heard. And Pewtercast, all on Bucs Report or affiliated with Bucs Report. Check out those guys. They always give 110% all the time, just like me. Always putting out videos. I got another video article going to come out soon. It's Peyton Barber or Ronald Jones. Who do you got? Now, before I get to these questions, let me get to what I was talking about earlier. from a fan from out of Indiana that I told you wasn't Misador. His name is Ethan English, and I'm going to read his question and then I'm going to comment on it. He says, so I have a random question for you. I'm from Indiana, so I can't say I know anything what the Glazers do for the community or where they are as owners. Do you ever see them or hear them? I'm just always seeing other owners from all over, and I'm going to pick one. But Jerry Jones has watched 2 minutes of a Dallas game, and he's on the screen. Yeah, sometimes he's a little loony, but damn, does he want to win? Which he does. And does he love this team? Steve Ballmer from the Clippers, I'm guessing, loves what he does, and the real kicker is, I heard an interview Terrell Davis did saying how he loved Pat and would never want to disappoint the man. that just adds an extra level of want in a human. That late game dig being moment, that's it. Now my thing is, I've watched games, been on a vid diehard for years, but unless I'm watching Manchester United game, I don't see our owners. Again, this is out of right field, but I'm always wondering, are we just a business decision to them? Do they really care about the franchise or other than money? Or personally, if I owned the Bucs, I'd be an MLB manager throwing out on the sidelines, a ref blowing a call. I'd be kicking and screaming, fighting for the team. I'd hope my players would see that and realize they're playing for someone that wants success, wants the spotlight of champions, and who's going to fight alongside them to get there. So basically what he's saying is, he said he never sees the Glazers on there. And does he think the Glazers really care, or are we just a business to them? Here was my response to him. Hi, Ethan. That's a good point. The late Malcolm Glazer did all those things you speak of when he was alive. There are also plenty of other teams, owners that aren't involved like that either. I'm associated with people that went to school with Malcolm and the children who are current with Malcolm's children who are currently in ownership with the franchise, and he has informed me that football wasn't their strong suit. I said they were accountants. Owning an NFL business is like owning Starbucks or McDonald's. The owners pay people to do the work for them. I personally would like to see them attempt to get more involved as well. I'm sure they care about this team because it was inherited to them, but in my opinion, they don't bleed Bucs. Thank you for being a fan all the way from Indiana. And like I said, I bring up his point today, which I did, man of my word. And that's exactly what I think. I think they care. They want to hire somebody in, that knows more about the game than they do. That's why they have Sheldon Quarles they hired Sheldon Quarles as in charge of football operations. You got Jason Light to run operations, find a head coach, et cetera, et cetera. And I think that's what they're trying to do here. Is if they can't handle certain situations and stuff like that, they want to find somebody else that can. So let me get to some more questions. There's a whole lot. All right, let me start up. Drew Brees, yes, you're right. Corey, he's out for 6 weeks. Unfortunately, he plays us, or his team plays us within those 6 weeks. Hopefully we can get that win over Teddy Bridgewater. If they want to trade for a quarterback, or are they just going to ride with the season as it is and get a higher draft pick? Wait, they might not have a pick because of what they traded to get Marcus Davenport. So I'm interested to see how this works. So whoever gets that. So the Saints might not afford to be able to tank this season. But I'm looking forward to us getting that win and racking up some wins. Stack them up, as they say. Misador, who is the biggest receiver to cover. That is Latimer. Let me read you the depth chart, as I think a couple of you guys talk about the roster. As of right now, their starting roster is Eli Manning with Daniel Jones backing up. Saquon Barkley is their starter. Wayne Gallman, he's Clemson running back that won a national title for Clemson. Starting wide receivers are Sterling Shepard, Cody Lattimore, and Benny Fowler. Cody Lattimore is their 6'3" receiver, so Misador, that's their big receiver who you're going to cover, and he's out of Indiana. And then you got the little small, speedy tight end, Evan Ingram. But this is the part you're gonna have to worry about. Is why Saquon Barkley is getting all these big running lanes. This is the part that worries me, but not really anymore. As their offense, they've beefed up the offensive line. So remember, they went and signed Nate Soldier. They went and got Will Hernandez in the draft, and they both played the left tackle and left guard. Center Joan Haleo pronouncing that right? Right guard Kevin Zettler, they got from Cleveland trade, and right tackle Mike Remmers. Now, Mike Remmers can give up the sack, as you saw that in the Super Bowl with Von Miller, so hopefully our left end, or whoever that is, or Shaq Barrett, or whoever wants to go on that side, could possibly get some nice sacks this game. I'll be looking forward to it. Get the Giants in long down and distance and rack up some sacks, because Eli Manning's not exactly fleet of foot, if you want to say. And they got the young guys, and they made some changes in the defense as well. They got Dexter Lawrence at the D tackle position. You still got Alec Ogletree. They went and drafted DeAndre Baker at Georgia, the Georgia cornerback, and Jabril Peppers, Janoris Jenkins, and Antone Bethea. So they're not slouches by far, and Cody Lattimore is returning punts for them too. They're not slouches by far, but definitely beatable, especially on offense when they're not a whole lot of weapons. So we have to play fundamentally sound and not try to kill ourselves, shoot ourselves in our own foot, what we've been doing lately with penalties. Sador, I'm going to the comments now, going to your guys' comments. Bucs will have a field day versus the Giants. I don't count anybody else in the NFL. You don't know what's going to happen from now to Sunday. Brett Matthews said that Giant defense looked bad this week. It's possible. Johnny Dean, people acting like this team is the same old Bucs. Sorry, new staff, new players, new day from Johnny the Professor. Absolutely. It's a whole new attitude with the new coaching staff, if you haven't noticed already. Taking risks, not playing scared, playing to win instead of not playing not to lose. Hope it helps our offense get in the rhythm. Penalties help that, to keep your offense in rhythm. Giants have no O-line, Isadora. I just read that off. Yes, they do. Brett Matthews, Dolphins. Oh, we're talking about tanking for Tua. 3-6 games, no score. Nassib and Barrett will have a field day off the edge. I'm not sure about Soldier, but definitely Mike Remmers. They should be able to have some success coming around the edge. Matt Colston, as always, I really want to see growth week after week. We won Thursday, but coach said we had mistakes. It would be great to see us continue to hold opposing teams under 21 or less. The offense will tighten up as the year goes on. If we'd have had this defense last year, we'd have won a whole lot of games, averaging 28 points a game, but giving up 29. You don't give up not a touchdown this week, and you're giving up under 17 or under points the week before on defense. So, I mean, that's definitely a good direction. And the way it's looking, the sky is the limit. If we can get everything in tune and not kill ourselves with penalties and mental mistakes, even Bruce Arians had and Todd Bowles had with the timeout. Defense is always ahead of offense. Yeah, it's a little easier, Johnny. Matt says Teddy Bridgewater is not a bum. He was rusty Sunday, but he's more than capable to win with that roster. The Saints are stacked. Yeah, they are, especially on offensive line. And Teddy Bridgewater is beating us here in Tampa with the Vikings back in a couple years back before his injury. He did look like he was out of sync. Probably just didn't fit the game plan the way it went, because the offense definitely changes when you switch quarterbacks. So they'll be more prepared next week with Teddy Bridgewater. Just you got to remember the game plan was with Drew Brees and not really Teddy Bridgewater, because they both have different skill set of plays that you call. And Drew Brees, of course, with audibles and stuff at the line of scrimmage, he might have more knowledge than Teddy Bridgewater has. But he's been in that system 2 years, so he should be very well familiar with that. Not ahead of Dolphins. That's me replying. Lawrence is 2 years out. Misador says. Misador Sunshine, I feel is most ready. Oh, you're talking about Clemson QB. Sunshine from Remember the Titans. Matador, I bet he's number 1 pick in Miami. Bucs draft all offensive linemen 2020. That's what Corey says. Johnny Dean, that look in Arians' eyes just with them when he's saying they got to catch those balls, although I think he's still mad. You're not in that close game if you catch those touchdown passes. People talk about Winston deep ball, threw a nice deep ball in coverage to Mike Evans. Doesn't have a problem connecting with Mike Evans when given the opportunity. Drop one in the end zone. Teardrop that one in the end zone to Mike Evans. It was dropped. Teardrop one in there to Brashard Perriman. It was dropped. But you guys constantly bash Winston over and over. But when he putting these receivers and other players in situations that we should succeed, so he doesn't have to feel like he has to make those plays, because those are 2 touchdowns that were dropped. And we sitting back running the ball, running out the clock, and continuing to play good defense, and the game is a whole lot different. But those are the things what we talk about when you say it's not on Winston. Those are 12 points that were left out on the field. Or if you just want to say 14s, I don't give or take extra points anymore now with this new system. Well, 14 points that was left out on the field because of drop passes, catchable, easy catchable balls. Keith, what's going on? Corey, Johnny, the Glazer, absolutely clear. They just have very limited knowledge about the football. And when he means the Glazer, he means the kids, because Malcolm was the big football guy, in my opinion. Jason Lights, what's your opinion of him? Russ from, are you from Alaska, AK? I don't know if you knew it. I was born in Alaska. I was born in Anchorage, Alaska. I lived there till I was 12 years old. I was born in Providence Hospital in Anchorage. That's cool. Email me, hit me on my website, buckandblakesports.com or buckandblakesports@gmail.com. Stay in contact. Like to see people from Alaska. That is what's up, man. Made my day with that one, Russell. So what's my thoughts about him? I think he's done fine. Everybody wants to rag on him for certain bad picks. You can't get them all. You can't get them all. And the worst part, I think the worst thing he did was, go switching over to Cutter and Mike Smith, the old Atlanta regime, and it fell flat on her face. You couldn't develop players, couldn't pick up free agency, you couldn't find ways to win. And that's the only real fall. And then, the 2015 draft with Aguayo and Noah Spence and those guys. Hargraves is turning out well. And otherwise than that, he's made up for it with undrafted players. Undrafted players and some trades with Jason Pierre-Paul. You can't always just think of only the bad things. You have to think of the good things too. You can't just be one-sided. He's done a lot of good things, not just all bad. And now that we got Arians and Bowles, it takes a lot of pressure off of himself because he can technically draft guys that they want instead of guys he thinks he wants, or whatever that works. I don't know what exactly goes on in their offense and their war room when they're in the draft day, but it's a lot of pressure off. And I think he's a decent GM to answer your question. It was an elongated answer, but I think I think he's okay. I put this is Tom Kent. I say put a package with Griffin and O.J. Howard on Dotson. Beef up that O-line. QB situation bad at the moment. Time to capitalize. I don't know. I mean, it's way too early. I mean, everybody keeps saying put this person in because they played good one game. Put this person in because they played well the other. I mean, people were just arguing, Rojo should be the starter, and then Peyton Barter comes out and play. I think Arian said in the offseason, this offense is going to change every week. Depends on what strengths and weaknesses are of the team we're playing against. That's exactly what's going to happen. It's not going to be one guy every game. They're doubling up on Mike Evans. That's why he's not really getting off in these games. But look what it's leaving open. Chris Godwin's leading the team with yards, over 100 yards, and 2 touchdowns in 2 games. So, I mean, O.J. Howard's got to step up. He's really got to I don't know what's going on with him. I don't know if he's liking the new offense. I don't know exactly what it is, if he's not figuring it out or not. But he needs to figure it out faster. The Bucs, honestly, they need to move on from him because if he's going to play like this, this is not working. That was Tom. Johnny Dean, there's going to be some Samoan action in this game. Oh, Samoan on Samoan action in this game. Yep, they're going to be getting it on in there. Just hopefully they're not wearing the little, shirtless with their little underwear that they wear. Oh, Johnny, I want to see that. Matt Colson, injuries to Big Ben and Drew Brees show that Miami can't tank for the draft. They're going to end up 5th. Who knows? I'm interested to see how that's going to end. I really am. But it goes to show you in this league, anything can happen at any given time. Steelers have yet to invest in backup quarterbacks. You just traded Dotson to another team. Was it the Jets? You traded Dotson to another team, Dobson. So now you really have no backup. So I don't know what the Steelers are going to do. They can get a chance to move on with Big Ben. We'll see how it goes in Steelers. It's been a crapshoot since the Antonio Brown, Le'Veon Bell stuff. So I'm interested to see how this turns out. Big Ben. Ben's backup is very good. The Saints will miss Breeze, but not as much as everyone believes. Yeah, we'll see. We'll find out if he's really a good coach or not. Sean Payton, what you said. We're going to find out sooner or later. I'd like to drop Perriman. Too early. Still early in the offense. It's too early to make these changes that you guys are saying. It's only been 2 weeks. It's just way too early to say that stuff. Nice. Oh, Juneau. Cool. I'll be in Juneau in 2020 for a fishing trip. I'll be back in my home state in Alaska. It's been almost over 20 years since I've been back home. Picks have to be coached, so any previous pick Light has made before this regime is nullified. Actually, speaking of picks before him, played Russell Shepard is on the Giants as well. I remember old Russell Shepard was a great special teams player and came up some splash plays here in Tampa Bay as well before he went on to the Carolina Panthers and then moved on to the Giants. Cam Newton, not a Panthers 2020 and 2021. Too early to say, Corey. 2 games in the season. It's just way too early. Cameron Braid is good if he's healthy, absolutely. He's getting paid a lot of money, so hopefully he can come up here and make some more plays here in the week, especially with O.J. Howard not doing much. I would love to run a 2 tight end back set with the fullback. Got to find some blocking, but we have no fullbacks. And so we got Anthony Allclair for that. We're not going to really run that. It's not really a thing in the NFL. Fullbacks is a negated spot. They just basically tight ends now. If there is a fullback, he's a great guy that can play he can catch or he can play tight end. So it's really negated. No more of that old school football stuff anymore. If not, they just add another offensive lineman. So it is what it is in this league. Christopher Cole, VH3, making the Pro Bowl. Whoa, Christopher Cole, that's a big statement there, but he's playing very well. Led Thursday's game with 12 tackles and 1 game-stealing tackle. Deshaun Tidsdale, top fan. What's your thoughts on Devin White? I know it's just 2 games, but I thought he would have more of an impact. Levante never played Mike Backer, but is looking good at it. I think he did. I'm not sure if he did at Nebraska or not, but he's playing exactly the same way. If your interior linemen are taking up all those blocks and double teams, and we got those little speedy backers and can slip through the A and B and C gaps and make these tackles, that's pretty much all you want out of this defense. These guys just take up blocks and not get blown off the ball. That's why it's been so great with run support now. But Levante is a very smart linebacker, 8 years in the league. It's just wrench, wash, and repeat with him. So I expect him to keep continuing the great play. And Devin White, I think I said this and I'll say it again. I said it over and over. Please don't put Derek Brooks or anybody else's expectations on Devin White. You got to let this guy earn his own stripe. You got to remember he's a tailback that switched to linebacker. That's very athletic. I honestly thought Devin Bush was a more tuned linebacker than Devin White. He's a little smaller, but Devin White's as big as a house, so with speed, so that's why we went with him. So I think it's going to take a little time for him to really get off and start. I think he should be ready to go rock and roll between week 6 and week 8. I'm talking about Devin White. Corey Ramsey won out of Jacksonville Jaguars. Yep, we said that, but for what? We're going to trade him? What, we're going to trade Sean Bunting or somebody? I don't know. I don't know if you want that attitude here. It all depends. David played Mike linebacker under Shiano. Yeah, you're right. Michael Clayton, welcome to the show. No Twitter gangsters here. Everybody's friendly in this one. Make sure you check out Mike's show. He's going to bring out Listen Up. But welcome to the show, Big Mike. Vernon has turned the corner. He might be the real deal. I got you. Truth or overreacting? Truth or overreacting? I think it could be truth. I think he has turned over a new league, Mike. I think he has turned it over with the new system. You heard Bruce mention off-man coverage. I know a lot of people were complaining about when we had Mike Smith here, when you're talking about off-zone coverage, or as Mike Smith would say, they could play as deep as they wanted, as they comfortable you wanted to play. But in his defense is solely proprietary on the defensive line getting more pressure, so the receivers wouldn't have much time to get downfield or finish their routes and force errant passes, which didn't really work out. Now with Todd Bowles, you're forcing the ball out quicker, forcing pockets to close, and making a quarterback very uncomfortable in the pocket. So this was a lot of pressure defense and attacking defense. If you're going to make mistakes, make them big. Blitz the quarterback, force a throw, underthrow or overthrow, behind the receiver pass for interception, opportunities at interceptions and stuff like that. I would rather play, like I said, I'll say this over, I'd rather play to win than scared to lose. And I like those the way we're playing defense now. We're playing aggressive, very aggressive. And I think offense as well with Bruce Arians and Byron Leftwich calling plays. So, no, I don't think it's an overreaction, Mike, to answer your question. Not. Oh, Lord. all those questions coming out. Let me get to it. JPP return playoff start. I care more about the man's health than him actually playing. If he comes back, great. If he doesn't, great. I mean, I think these guys are coming into themselves and finding their way within this defense, and offense is going to catch up soon too. But on defense, I'm not really scared anymore, knowing these guys are confident and they're playing at a high level and they're believing in each other and believing in the system. Mentor looked like he was a starter. Mentor was doing the same exact thing he was doing, Matt, in the preseason, making the best out of his opportunities and keep playing. He's not a youngster. He's a veteran in this league and another LSU linebacker. I'm not worried if anybody goes down at linebacker with Kevin Mentor as backup. Jack Sitchie didn't look too bad either. He just needs more time. Russell Gilchrist, you know how much 12th man, but I have to put up with it and think of only the Bucs fan. Oh, okay. Yeah, you're talking about Seattle's closest to Anchorage in the city yet. Mentor played well, knows he closed the D. Michael Clayton's back. 20 teams are using Facebook now. It's like, oh, yeah. Yeah, they are. Okay, and that's pretty much, like I said, I don't really have too much. I'm going to go over Thursday. Thursday, probably about the same time, and I'll break down more tape on the Giants and talking about their offensive plays and the schemes and what it's going to look like in the secondary and stuff like that. I want to make sure to get stuff out today. Like I said, I'm going to try to get on here every Monday around 3 p.m. Mike, you're more than welcome to come on. I know you've been waiting to get your show going. Hey, man, maybe we can do something with each other on a weekly basis, man. I know you got your own thing going. There's no objectives here. You can say what you want. You can put your opinions out, and you get pretty much free verse here, Mike. Just hit me up on any of my social medias. You got me up. You got my cell phone number. Or my email, buckandblakesports@gmail.com. Check out my website, guys. I got to update it here in a minute. You know, my promo videos every week about who we're playing. And that's pretty much what I got. Let me check the comments real quick before we get out of here. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for your time, for checking out the show. I appreciate everything you guys do. And we're in this as we always do. You're the master of everything that you do with your life. What you do with it is entirely up to you. Thank you guys. God bless, and fire those cannons.